Good. Where's the camera? Is it over here or is it over here? It's over here. I need to look at this bit here. Don't you just hate it? So good morning, kids. Welcome to the Late Breakfast Show kitchen sessions. Coming at you, Cleopatra. Boom. So today I want to do a little bit about don't you just hate when someone steals your idea, and it is because no one's stolen my idea, but I was trying to think what to call these little morning sessions, because the one that kept on coming back to me was E-Bomb, which is something that comes from Alex Hillman and Amy Hoy, and they do this lovely book called Just Fucking Ship It, which me and Niels, my long-suffering desk mate at 90 Maynard, have been working through for our little Trello side project, and they call things E-Bombs, which is an educational bomb, and it's something you can drop out by a blog post or an email that is very informative and not about you, but is a way of connecting with people. So it's like, you know, Chris Ducker, the Phil Collins of Periscope, calls it a value bomb when he talked about those at New Media Europe. And it's just a piece of information that's really helpful to people, and you know, it's not salesy, and you know, it's possibly not even possibly, it's part of your business structure pipeline, but it's very much in that utility J Bear type of thing. So I wanted to call it an E-bomb, but it just didn't sit right. It's like nicking someone else's idea and running with it. And also, I think, you know, I'm really up for people taking ideas and running with it, but I hate it when people kind of just say, oh, I'm going to call my, you know, they just rip off an idea and bastardize it as their own. And so I wrote to Alex last night and said, you know, Alex, you know, how does this work? You know, I really would rather you say no, don't use it. Something going down there. I really would rather you say, you know, no, don't use it, and then, you know, politely say, go ahead, use it. That was a non-sentence because I was concentrating on my keyboard screen. So that's where we were. And then I was thinking, you know, what else? Because people like on Broadcast FM, they used to call it, you know, the backstage sessions and the green room things and stuff like that. And I thought, why don't you just call it the kitchen sessions? You know, because there's this whole breakfast thing. Good morning, Maya. Hello, my 10 ideas, buddy. So this is it. This is the first official Late Breakfast Show kitchen sessions. So also a little bit about the Late Breakfast Show, because a few people have asked me what on earth is that, why it's called that, how does it work, and it works from in 2009 in London. I started doing this session called it was like the anti-networking speaker event called the Late Breakfast Show, and I had 7 people talk for. Thank you very much. I had 7 people talk for 7 minutes about a topic in that kind of Pecha Kucha type way, and then everyone got together and they weren't allowed to stick business cards to people's foreheads, and you know, it was really fun, and it was very tongue in cheek, and I took the piss out of a lot of people, and a lot of people took the piss out of me, and it was wicked, and I did like 25 of those over about 4 years. And then it kind of had run its course, and I was podcasting and trying to do some other things. And more than one person said to me, you know, Bernie Mitchell, if you had a lifetime achievement award, it would be for the Late Breakfast Show. And it was the strongest brand. And my friend Gabrielle from Buenos Aires in Argentina, who made my logo, made this really good logo, which is the one you see now. And before that, James Bridgman made one that was a kind of like daft punky disco thing, so I loved both the logos. And then when Gabrielle made the new one, which was just a few years ago now, but there was like this kitchen table feel to it, and I love food. There's a very tenuous connection there, but I just love food, and I love being up early in the morning. So it doesn't quite fit what it's called, but you know, people remember what it does. And so now it's turned in. So I did this podcast. Me and Andy Bardry from Klaxon and TechMap tried to do it as a Google Hangout, and our podcasting magic didn't transfer to Google Hangout very well. So then I just sat on it and I kept on going, what can I do with that? And I've got to do something with it. So now it's become the podcast. And now Periscope came along, and if you've one of the 2 people that's watched these so far, every weekday morning I do 10 minutes here. And this 10 minutes is really just to, get my head out my arse and wake up. And it's very, very, very energising. And I massively recommend people getting up and shouting at a screen to 2 people at 6:30 in the morning, because I've shipped a piece of content by then. And the idea for this, which is an idea I've stolen, came from Jared Morris of Rainmaker, who does a side project called Primility, which is what this I've got it on. There's a red wristband, which is, I put a link in the show notes, which is a podcast about balancing pride and humility. And he 6:30 every morning does 10 minutes, and it's a really quick little segment. And I can tell that guy's more awake than the average human being. So that's where that came from. And then I've got so many, and then I really was trying to work out where to do the rest of it, because there's lots of topics I want to investigate, and I've always wanted to investigate. And one of the main reasons for doing a podcast is it's a great way to interview people, and obviously it's a great way to interview people, but it's a great way to connect with people and investigate a topic. That's what I meant to say, investigate a topic. So the first, and then when I went to New Media Europe a couple of weekends ago, Colin Graves has been doing this great segment on podcast seasons. And even before I heard that, I thought I'm going to do a season like this, which is, I've seen lots of people do it in podcasting, and what particularly worked was in the startup podcast by Gimlet Media. So the first one is 50 collaborative coffees in London, which was, I say that a lot in this podcast, I don't know, which was, what was it? Started life as 50 sharing economy coffees in London, which I adapted the idea from Peter Thompson and his 50 coffees in London thing. So I want to really drill down into the collaborative economy, because I don't like the term sharing economy, but collaborative society really, really resonates with me as the word you're meant to use there. So I'm not quite sure where this is going, because it's kind of gone like that. So I'm not going to use E-Bomb, but this is an E-Bomb. I'm going to call it the Kitchen Sessions. The seasons are 50 collaborative coffees in London, and so I'm going to need to catch up with people like Alex is coming to London in a few weeks. And the rules of the game are you have to be in London. So I can't interview Arnold Schwarzenegger unless he's in London. So Alex is in London, and we can interview him there. And if other people from even from the WeShare community, if they come to London, they can be interviewed, but they can't be interviewed in the 50 collaborative coffees in London thing. So that there's someone I'm coming to get you, sir. Someone I really want to get my hands on is John Stepper from the Working Out Loud thing, because I shout around a lot about working out loud, but he's written a book about it. So I'd like to help spread that idea too. And I think that's about it. I'm going to pack up, run to 90 Main Yard and collaborate with my mate Jordan. I'm really looking forward to podcasting with Matt the Hodgkinson from Influence Agents later. We'll be talking about HubSpot, and he's doing a lot of really cool little things now. He's always reinventing himself. He's like the Madonna of HubSpot. And we'll be doing that hopefully at 90 Main Yard, because we could be using Pod Clear or 90 Main Yard. And then there's something going on tonight. We're all running to WeWork in Southwark or London Bridge, where Tanya from WeShare London and her mate Iggy are doing their latest. Oh, what's it called? It's got a really cool name and I've forgotten it, but I'll put a link in the show notes. Anyway, have a lovely day. Take care of each other. Be careful out there. It's a jungle. So they tell me. Shopping thing. Oh, I messed it up again. I can never get this right.